Hello, Mamookers. It is I, Cerebral, and I'm here today to show you how you too can create a sexy looking gear sheet just like this one. And you can do that by using a program called GIMP, which this is just a file type for that program. But I'm going to show you how to download and install GIMP and use it to create your gear sheet. So we're going to go into Google and type in GIMP download. We see GIMP download, the first link. It takes you to gimp.org/downloads. And then you will download GIMP 2.10.32 directly. And that will save a setup for GIMP. You'll download and run the setup. You can choose to donate because it is a 100% free and open source program, but that is up to you. Most people do not, like me. That's because I'm poor. Anywho, when you get to GIMP, I should probably just close out of this and just reopen it. GIMP will load, and the first thing you'll see is a screen just like this one. This is a blank GIMP program. What we'll want to do if we're creating a build sheet is start with a new image. And what we'll want to do is go to advanced options. Ideally you would keep it at the 1920 by 1080p. If you have a higher resolution monitor such as 1440, you can adjust it to that resolution if you wish to make a larger image for more space and overall cleaner image. But for today we're just going to keep it basic with the 1920p. The only other thing we need to do while we're creating a new image is change the fill with background color to change with, fill with transparency. Alright, now that we have our base canvas image here, it is transparent, that's why we have the checkered background. We need to fill it with images. So what we're going to want to do, if we want to make it look nice, ideally you would set a background first. This is what you can see over here in our layers area. This is the background layer. So I actually have something prepared that I can open as a layer, which should be under downloads. Did I not hit downloads? Here we go. That's not it. None of those are, is it documents? It's documents. Alright. So when you make a build sheet, you're gonna ideally be making it for Clocks, right? Because he's gonna be the main person that's going through and looking at each one and nitpicking the build that you have. So you should get a background image that might, Clocks might enjoy looking at. So for this one, I went ahead and grabbed this image, and this will serve as our background image. And then from here, we'll open up New World. I do have two monitors. This is much easier on two monitors, but for the sake of the video, I want to show you how you could do it with one, with Alt-tabbing and the Windows Snip tool. For all Windows 10 and Windows 11 computers, you should automatically have Windows Snipping tool enabled, and you can activate that by pressing the Windows key, the Shift key, and the S key all at the same time. Alrighty, so once we're here, and you'll hit that combination of keys, you can see there's different tools that you can use. You can do a full monitor capture, full screen. You can do a window. You can do a freeform where you can draw all kinds of shapes in a unique way that you want it to be drawn. Or just a regular rectangular mode. We'll stay in rectangle mode because it works easier with New World and items. We'll draw a nice little rectangle over the important details of the item. And we have our first image. We'll go Alt-Tab back. And this is the important part. Before you're pasting a new image into GIMP, you need to make sure that you do not have the Unified Transform tool, which we'll use later, selected. You want to make sure you have the Move tool selected, or else you'll paste over top of another image and things get messy. Anywho, once we have the image copied onto the clipboard via the Windows snipping tool, we're going to right click on our image, go to edit, and rather than just hitting paste or hitting Control V, we're going to go to paste as, and we're going to paste that in as a new layer. Here's our image. As you can tell, it's a bit large. So then we're going to go back to that Unified Transformation tool that we talked about earlier. Select the image with the tool. It's very important that you don't resize using the corners, and I'll show you why. When you use the corners, it goes with the 3D edit and eventually disappears. But if you do that, you can always use Control Z, undo. But if you go from the top or the sides, it will hold the same aspect ratio and keep the image. And then you can just drag that right up there, or wherever you're feeling. So for the sake of holding the image together, I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna start down here. I'm gonna put all the gear pieces on the road. Alright, so now that I've done, I think I might shrink that just a hair. And I'll set that there, leaving a little bit of a margin on the bottom and on the side. I'll go back to my Move tool. Now that image is in place, go back to New World, grab our next piece of gear. We're going to go to Edit, Paste As, New Layer, and as you can see, it pasted over top because the image will paste on the last selected layer, and it will paste over top of it. But not to worry, you can just use your Move tool, drag it wherever you want. That image is still going to be right there. That layer is untouched because it's a brand new layer over top of the other layers. And we'll just drag that right next to there, kind of clean up the size, make sure that they match, try to hold the same margins. And then after we're done, that looks about even to me. We'll go back to our Move tool. Obviously, I have a large resolution monitor, and this is a small image. We can just zoom in on the particular part of the image that we want, and we could see that this might look a tad bit larger, slash is just a little bit higher. So we're just gonna clean that up, make that look even a little bit neater. Can zoom back out, and we're still here with our image. We're gonna go back to New World, grab our next piece of gear.
Complete your pieces and that's posted for normal gear sheets. You're gonna also want to post your weapon mastery so you are using the proper build. But once it's all said and done, final step here is just going to file. I had to reopen this image, so it might not look exactly the same in this file menu here. But we're gonna export it rather than save it. When you save a new project in GIMP with just regular save, try to save it as a project rather than a usable PNG or JPEG file. So what you're gonna want to do is you're just gonna type in the name of what you want your build sheet to be. You're gonna save it wherever you want it to save, and then we are going to hit export. Since this already exists, let's replace it. Then you'll get this export menu here. Again, since this was already saved image, I'm missing some of the options. But in this menu, we'll have the options: G, JPEG, whatever file type that you prefer is, alright, sorry, yeah. But either one should work with this. That is how you create a professional gear sheet.